Final warning. I could do this all day.
Hey guys, welcome back to Critic and Fan, and we are here because we were super excited because we came out of watching Captain America Civil War. Me, Rob, and our friend Nicole. Nicole, say hi.
Hi.
Hi. That's so cool. And we just couldn't wait to make this review because Captain America Civil War. Rob, what are your thoughts on this movie?
Oh, okay, wait a second. Wow. This movie it's freaking awesome. Like, going in, I talked to him before, like, I was slightly nervous going into this film because all you hear was good stuff. People kept hyping it up, and every once in a while I'll be like, there are some problems with it. I'm not going to elaborate, but there are some problems, but it's good. So I was slightly worried that people are hyping it up too much. Now that I've seen it, I could tell they undersold the whole movie. It's been undersold. Like, believe the hype. It is real. This movie is awesome.
With this movie, we got basically a big ensemble cast of the Avengers. We got new characters that are introduced, which let's go right into that. We got Black Panther as well as Spider-Man. Let's start with Spider-Man first. Rob, what do you think about Spider-Man?
Okay. I loved this Spider-Man. Like, if you were a fan of the Spider-Man animated series from like the 90s, the 2000s, the new one, Ultimate Spider-Man, if you're a fan of that, and if you know anyone's a fan, this is that Spider-Man. The high school one where it's freaking awesome. You will love this Spider-Man. That's what they give you. They give you the most popular Spider-Man, and they didn't ruin it.
And you will also love the new version of Aunt May.
Aunt May is hot.
Yes.
I did not see that coming. Usually, I think of Aunt May, she's like, 1,000 years old. She remembers Moses. She was there. But this one, she's fine.
Yes, and not only that, but Spider-Man's story, I mean, it's not just randomly thrown in this movie. It was well executed. I mean, Tom Holland does a great job of bringing this version of Spider-Man to life, and it's probably the most accurate representation that we've gotten so far in a cinematic movie. Tobey Maguire, I thought he was great, even though Spider-Man 3 wasn't that good. And then you have Andrew Garfield, who I thought was a great Spider-Man, but just his movies weren't that great either. So, I mean, with this Tom Holland's version, I mean, thank you, Marvel, for making this deal happen. Fans everywhere are going to be so happy. And this basically is a teaser for next year's movie, which is Spider-Man's movie called Homecoming.
Yes, sir.
And so, I mean, and just the action scene that he's only in one action scene, but what he does is just, I mean, your jaw just drops because it just brings back all the good memories that you ever had reading the comics of Spider-Man or seeing the animated series.
Yes.
And just seeing that brought to life, I was happy. I have a big smile on my face.
And Black Panther, though.
Let's
not forget that guy, because they introduced him, and it didn't feel forced, introducing Black Panther. It was part of the story. It was a natural progression of this story, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, and also his action scenes, I mean, he was pretty beast, dude.
Yeah, he was beast.
The guy is fast, he can kick. I mean, he's got... I can't explain. I wish I can do a spoiler review about this right now. But I mean, just what he does is pretty amazing. And let's not forget the rest of the Avengers, because I think the only ones that are missing, I think, are Thor and the Hulk. But pretty much the entire rest of the Avengers cast, they're all in here.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah, like when they at first they only showed like most of the Avengers, but they left some out, like Hawkeye, Ant-Man. He's not really part of the Avengers, but they left something out. But when Hawkeye showed up, the crowd started cheering. Like, I almost forgot that he was part of the Avengers. He gets, like, mentioned early in the film. But I sort of, you sort of forget about him. Then he shows up, and he's like, oh, wait, that Hawkeye's hardcore. Look what he just did. And then Ant-Man. He had two, like, applause moments in the theaters. Two huge ones when he shows up, and then something else I won't spoil. But huge applause. I clapped. I don't like clapping. I clapped.
Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man's first movie, I mean, it was pretty cool. I really did enjoy it a lot. And you did see some potential in what Ant-Man could do. And then you watch him in this movie, and he just, I mean, this guy can be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And Marvel does it right, honestly. They did a really good job with this character. And not only him, but I mean, yeah, of course there's the usuals, Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America. I mean, we've seen all these characters before in countless movies, but just see them once again as ensemble piece together. The Russo brothers who directed this movie, they've done ensemble pieces like Arrested Development and Community.
Love that one. And
so they're pretty used to making sure all the characters get their lines said, that they're action pieces. They make sure that every character gets their spotlight done.
Yeah, and they don't overdo it. Like Avengers Age of Ultron, I enjoyed it, but they kind of overdid it with jokes and everyone, getting over each other's lines. This one, it was like the perfect amount of like humor and like seriousness? Is that how you say it? Drama. Yeah. It was perfect, and they didn't overdo it.
Yeah, and one thing I really enjoyed about this movie was the big climactic action scene of all the guys fighting each other. Of course, they tease it, in the trailer where they all on both sides of the airport and they charge at each other. And that scene, I thought, was not just one of the best action scenes in a superhero movie, but I think one of the best action scenes in just an action movie in general. It's just the choreography that they do. With everybody just going toe to toe with one another. I mean, it's just matchups that you always just kind of wanted to see. And even if you didn't think about certain matchups, when you see them, you're kind of like, oh yeah, that's cool to see.
And it wasn't just like, Captain America versus Iron Man. It was like Captain America versus everyone. Like, they were trading off. They weren't just sticking to one person.
Yeah.
And they didn't keep it that way. They traded off, and it was really good how they did it.
It wasn't just like Black Widow and Hawkeye because they have no powers fighting each other.
Yeah. It moved around.
Yeah, they all get a dose of one another, which is pretty neat to see. And I was blown away because that action scene was pretty neat. But that's my one. I have a minor gripe about this movie. There is shaky cam in this movie. I thought that the Winter Soldier, the second movie of Captain America, I thought that they did the shaky cam a lot better than this movie, because the shaky cam in this movie, it kind of looks, the way that they cut it together, there are some parts where you can kind of feel like, okay, this is a stunt double, okay, we gotta get the shaky cam, these angles cutting in, and they do it quite a bit in the beginning, but as the movie kind of keeps going, they kind of stop doing as much, and so that's kind of one gripe that I have, is the shaky cam a bit, because, I mean, you can still enjoy the action scenes, you won't get sick or anything like that, it's not as bad as Hardcore Henry, but, I mean, I just kind of wish they could have just toned it down a little bit and kind of had more steady shots, just to kind of grasp the cool, or all the punches and all the kicks that are happening. Minor nitpick, because all the jokes, fighting, action, explosions, dialogue, witty characters, I mean, that's just a small nitpick.
Yeah, and this movie, at its core, is a Captain America movie.
Yes.
And it's Captain America Civil War, obviously. And the emotion and the stakes, they've raised the stakes higher. And the emotion is there. Like, everyone's reasoning for doing what they're doing, it's all there. Like, they're not, not pulling any punches or anything here. Like, Iron Man's reasoning. Like, I actually switched over to his side part way through the movie.
No, I was going back and forth. Yeah, that's the brilliant thing about this movie, and also the Russo brothers, is that they understand all these characters, and so, like I said before, they make sure everybody gets their spotlight and make sure that everyone's voice gets heard. So throughout this movie, you go back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
At first, you're like, oh yeah, obviously Captain America.
It's his movie, yeah.
5 minutes later, Tony Stark, actually.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and then 10 minutes later, you keep going back and forth, and then when the big climactic scene happens with all them fighting, you're kind of like, I don't know who to root for. This is awesome. And so
I was rooting for everybody.
I was rooting for everybody. I'm like, yeah, get him, but don't hurt him that much because I like him. Yeah. And so, I mean, there's so much to like about this movie. Everything pretty much worked very well. The villain that's in this movie, his name is Baron Zemo. I liked and disliked. What I disliked about him was that he wasn't the cartoon version that I wanted him to be. Because in the cartoon version, he had like a purple mask, he had like a sword and everything.
Who cares about
yeah,
that looks horrible.
So, and so I never saw a photo of him, of what he looked like going to this movie. And when I saw him, I was kind of like, okay, it's alright. But I mean, what I liked about his character, though, was that unlike other Marvel villains, you actually understood better where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And you understand his motivations of why he's doing what he's doing. And he's not really in the movie that much. But he's probably in the movie for maybe total, like, 8 minutes. But it's kind of like Hannibal Lecter and Sounds of the Lambs, where, like, he's in it for so little, but they sprinkle him around
I thought they did a very good job, better than most Marvel villains, other than Loki. I thought they did a really good job with him, though.
Yeah, because even though he's not, like, super powers, it's kind of like a Lex Luthor in the sense, huh? Where he's just, like, he doesn't have any powers, but he's just smart, and he just calculates things. And so, I mean, his character, I mean, it's not like the typical, wahaha villain, let's go blow things up, but he actually has an intellect to him, and he's very smart, and so that's the part of him that I did like. But this movie right here, there are so many surprises. I mean, after being, 10, 11 movies deep, I lost track. There's so many movies.
I never counted.
So many movies in this universe. But you kind of wonder, what else does Marvel have up its sleeve? And it just ups the ante, because they still throw surprises at you, and you think you've seen it all, but they throw something at you. You're kind of like, oh, I didn't know they could do that. I didn't know that their powers could do that. And I mean, it's just a good time. This is definitely a theater experience.
Yeah, see the theater. I plan on going back and probably try to see one of those huge IMAX screens, like just a huge. You gotta turn your head to see. That's what I want to see it in now.
Yeah, and so with this movie, For sure, I would say maybe top 4, top 5 for sure. I mean, Captain America Civil War or Captain America's Winter Soldier, that was my number 1 movie for like a long time. And then of course there's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's another great movie as well. The first Avengers, the first Iron Man. I mean, there's gonna be some debate as to which is the best Marvel movie of all time. But I mean, this movie did what it was supposed to do. This was the most satisfying versus movie that I wish Batman v Superman was.
Oh, dude, come on! Don't compare it to that.
No. Well,
it's completely different.
No. In the sense, okay, what I like about comparing the two, right, really fast, is that I know Marvel has an established cinematic universe, right, but I don't think that the dialogue from Batman v Superman, it's just you can just tell how sloppily both movies are written comparison wise. Because when you get to Captain America and Iron Man's motives as to why they want to go against one another, you just kind of think back on Batman v Superman. You're kind of like, why can't that same drama be the exact same for that movie?
Okay.
Do you kind of agree?
Yeah, I agree because like our friend Nicole in the back, like she hasn't
Nicole,
seen.
say hi.
She hasn't seen all of the Marvel movies, and yet she was able to keep up with this story, understand everyone's motivation to why they're doing what they're doing.
I loved it.
She loved it.
I'm just really stoked about this movie. I'll probably watch it at least 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah, go see it in theater. Buy it when it comes out on like iTunes, and then get the DVD too, so you have backup somewhere. Get a hard copy.
Back it up. Get a hard drive. Put it on your USB if you can. Just whatever you can. Just get this movie. Make sure you never lose it.
Yeah, copy and paste the Wikipedia link. I don't know. Do whatever you have to do to get this.
All right, seriously, guys. But for sure, it's a theater experience. Do not wait. I mean, if you're thinking of excuses, I have work today, I have school, whatever your excuse is.
I wake up in 3 hours for work. They can do this.
They can do this, yeah. Whatever excuse you have, throw out the window, go see this movie. It's worth seeing in theaters. And yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add?
No, just see. It's awesome. You will love it. You'll appreciate it. Even if you're not a huge superhero fan, because there's a lot of people who don't like superheroes. You will like this movie. It is well grounded in like what people call reality, I guess. Well, grounded, as much as it can be.
Yeah.
It's there. It's not so out of mind like, oh, I don't want to see that because it's just too weird. It doesn't do that. It's really grounded. It kept with the spirit of Winter Soldier. The Russo brothers kept that. Yeah,
and then if people are going to be griping about how this movie is based off the Civil War story, because it does take its liberties, right? So it doesn't follow that story, verbatim, beat by beat, but the spirit of the Civil War storyline is there.
Yeah.
And so you won't be disappointed with that. I mean, and if you're like Nicole, where you haven't seen all the movies, but still, you can still enjoy it like how she did.
Yeah.
And yeah, guys, so that's our quick review of Captain America Civil War. What are you guys' thoughts? And I mean, are you excited as we are to see this movie? And I mean, yeah, so if you guys like what you see, subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Twitter at critic_and_fan.
Yes.
I got it right that time? All right, perfect. And also follow us on Facebook of the same name, Critic and Fan. And yeah, guys, I think we're at 50 subscribers now, I believe. 50 or so, yeah.
Just over 50.
Yeah, and so we're going to be doing giveaways once we get to 100 followers, and we're really excited about that. And also, yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I just realized you're wearing an Iron Man mask with the Captain America shirt.
I like both of them in the film.
First
I like
first
it.
thing.